Dawn cracked open with a sharp shout. The sound cut through the quiet like a drum warning of danger. Feet rushed. Voices rose. Bodies pushed forward as everyone sprinted toward the chief's gate. Tears streamed down one face as the crowd closed around her. A finger shot out from the other side, shaking with anger. "You are a liar. You hid the virgin truth. You tricked me. You fooled my family." The words hit the air like hot stones. Gasps followed. Whispers crawled between shoulders. More feet shuffled closer. "I did nothing. Someone set me up." The cry punched through the noise. The crowd jerked back, unsure, hungry for answers. More murmurs buzzed like angry bees. A bent figure stepped into the circle. Her feet moved slow, but her eyes burned bright. No one dared block her path. The crowd parted on its own. The truth hides in your shadow. Every whisper died. Fear slipped into the air as villagers stepped back, hands shaking, hearts jumping. The chief lifted his hand and called for a hearing. No one argued. No one breathed loud. Rumors burst across the yard like sparks. Who is lying here? Who wants this marriage broken? Why does he care so much about purity? Questions flew like arrows, fast and sharp. The chief slammed his staff down, calling for silence. The ground seemed to listen. The old woman lifted her head. "I know how this trouble began." She dropped to one knee and begged for time to speak. The chief nodded once. The crowd froze like carved wood. All eyes stayed on her. She raised her staff toward the sky, shaking it as if calling something unseen. "Let the truth walk from the past." The air grew heavy. The people leaned forward, breath tight, hearts waiting. The world around them seemed to slow and tighten like a drumskin. Then the moment shifted, and the story from the hidden past began to rise. He walked through the fields with his father's old words echoing in his mind. Every step felt like a promise he could not break. "I need a perfect wife to honor him." The words left his mouth before he could stop them. They hung in the air like a vow carved in stone. A sharp voice cut through the wind. "Purity or bad luck will enter." The warning came with force, pushing him harder than the sun above his head. Far away, another voice rose, strong and clear. Hands worked fast, helping an older woman who smiled with pride. "Your parents would be proud of you." The words warmed the air for a moment, but the young woman only nodded. Her mind held a simple dream. A quiet home. No fights, no storms, just peace. He lifted his chin and whispered his own wish. Honor above all. Pride for the family name. A future that carried no stain. She whispered her own wish to safety.com. A new life that did not shake or break. But another voice pushed in with iron breath. Control. Pressure demands. Choose wrong and trouble follows like dust. The warning hit him deep, as if dust already clung to his shoulders. At the same time, a soft whisper rushed to the young woman. Some hearts want this marriage to fail. The whisper felt like a cold hand on her back. Then the first sign appeared. A torn bridal ribbon lay on her doorstep, fresh, bright, and ripped like a message. A young boy ran up and shouted, "I saw a shadow near your window." Her hands tightened as she said, "Someone is watching me." The older woman waved her off. "Ignore it. Jealous people talk and hide." But the warning did not leave her heart. When night came, uneasy whispers followed her every step. The air felt heavy with secrets. Drums burst through the morning as the wedding began. Loud cheers rose like fire. People danced with wide smiles and fast feet. But he kept looking around, shoulders tight, eyes sharp. Something was wrong and he felt it. She danced with steady grace, but his mother's eyes followed her like a hawk watching a small bird. Joy filled the yard, rising higher with each beat of the drum. Yet an unseen figure stayed in the dark, hiding behind laughter, hiding behind song. A pair of eyes followed the couple as they walked away, slow, quiet, hungry for trouble. The celebration faded. The music died. Families went home with stories on their lips. But the trouble did not leave. It quietly began. Footsteps pounded the ground before the sun rose. They struck like thunder, sharp and furious. A shout ripped through the quiet. "I have proof she lied about being pure." Voices froze. Every ear strained. A hand shot out, grabbing for reason. "This cannot be true." A softer voice trembled, but held steady. "Someone set me up in the dark." Whispers spread like smoke across the compound. Faces turned. Eyes darted. Questions grew faster than fear. "What happened in that room? Who will tell the truth?" Another voice pressed, sharp and heavy. "Send her back. Do not shame us." Every gaze fell. Hesitation lingered. The weight of judgment pressed on every shoulder. "I will not stay silent," came a voice firm and clear. "Someone wants to break this home," it added. "Let us find the truth together," it said, stepping closer, offering a hand to investigate. "No," came the sharp refusal. Silence hung. A trembling aunt glanced up, fear clear. That fear caused pause. Finally, the decision fell like a slow drumbeat. "Fine, we will look together." Eyes scanned the ground. Strange footprints pressed into soft earth outside the window. A torn cloth hung on a nail, fluttering like a warning. A young neighbor ran forward. "I saw a man near your house." Hands grabbed the cloth and studied it. Eyes narrowed. A realization broke through. The cloth belonged to a cousin. "Someone stole it from me." A voice protested loud and quick. The gaze of truth fell steady and cold. The cousin once wanted her. Now the lie tangled with greed and revenge. Another voice defended him. "Leave him alone. He is innocent." Confusion pressed down. Who spoke the truth? Who hid lies behind shadows? The bold voice stepped forward again. "Say it? Say you want me gone?" Gasps cut through the air. The words hung, heavy, daring, unyielding. Silence answered. Eyes hardened. No word came. A call rose then. A secret meeting whispered to all. "I saw someone sneak into your room that night," came a voice. "No man," it added. "It was a woman." The crowd shifted slowly, turning toward the mother. The weight of accusation thickened. A demand pierced the tension. "Is this true? Speak now." Anger boiled. Pride collided with truth. The mother stormed away without a word, silence louder than any shout. Drums beat fast and urgent. The village prepared for judgment. Shadows moved, whispers spun, and the truth waited to rise. The court swelled with people. Whispers rose, sharp and curious, slicing through the thick air. Every eye turned, every ear strained. Questions bounced like drumbeats across the yard. A staff slammed down. Silence fell instantly. One figure stepped forward, heavy and proud. Eyes hardened. The crowd held its breath, waiting for the storm to speak. Another figure moved into the circle. A voice rang out, strong and clear. "I bring truth today." A small voice trembled but did not falter. "I was paid," it said, "paid to enter the room before the wedding night." Gasps rolled through the crowd. Breath caught in every chest. Fake signs planted. To shame her, the voice continued, shaking but steady. Shock cracked the air. She wanted the marriage to break. The voice admitted. Every whisper and question collided into one truth. The bold accusation struck hard. The crowd's gaze turned to the one who had stirred the deception. The motive surfaced. Another girl, another plan. Greed hidden behind authority and fear. Anger burst forth. "She is not worthy." Came a roar, shaking the circle. The weight of old beliefs, the obsession with purity, collided with a new, undeniable truth. Purity matters more than character. The voice shouted again, desperate to justify lies. A cry of defiance pierced the tension. "You broke my peace for your fears." Fingers pointed. Secrets spilled. Another name entered the storm. He helped too. The plan, once hidden, revealed itself fully. Land, inheritance, and betrayal twisted together like a vine. Those who schemed now stood naked before the crowd, their shadows laid bare. A hand lifted, steady and commanding. "I am your sister," it said, voice carrying weight. "I returned after sensing darkness in the family." The revelation settled, heavy but cleansing. The crowd shifted, murmurs falling silent, as understanding and relief mingled with outrage. Judgment came. Swift and clear. Lies, deception, and manipulation were named and condemned. Justice struck firmly, leaving no room for doubt. A knee bent, a voice humbled. "Forgive my doubt." Another voice rose, strong and unwavering. "Trust is the real test, not purity." Commands followed. Accountability was set. Those who had twisted the truth faced the weight of the community, while the guilty fled, exposed and shamed. The drums beat a new rhythm, steady and strong. A warning and a lesson. Truth will rise, deceit will fall, and the heart must guide the hand, not fear or obsession. Silence stretched between them. Eyes met with careful curiosity. Hearts beat in unison, yet shadows of the past lingered. "No more secrets between us," came a voice firm and steady. "We start again, but with truth," answered the other, voice soft yet unwavering. Hands joined, not in haste but in promise. Words followed actions. No fear, no pressure. Only honesty. Time moved slowly as trust began to rebuild, brick by brick. Steps were cautious, but steps were taken. Elsewhere, watchful eyes followed the one who had sown fear. Work carried on, but wisdom whispered through each motion. "Your hands work, but your heart must change too," the elders said, quiet but piercing. Whispers of realization stirred. Pride had shaped pain, fear had ruled hearts, and now reflection demanded its due. "My pride brought this pain," came the soft confession. Steps once heavy became deliberate. A path of quiet amends opened, unseen but felt. Across the lands, trouble found another home. Words carried like wind, spreading doubt and chaos. "Why bring chaos here?" asked voices, sharp with suspicion. Recognition struck. This is the liar from the last village. Exposed again, flight became the only choice. Shame followed every step. Stories carried ahead, warning all who would listen. Back in the village, minds gathered to learn, to speak, to heal. Words turned from weapons into lessons. Words can cut deeper than knives, reminded the elders, steady and strong. Voices rose, small but determined. Your worth is not judged by fear. One lead, encouraging others to follow. Girls spoke freely. The community listened, and a new strength took root. Support flowed like a river, firm and unbroken. A figure moved with quiet grace, preparing to leave. A smile lingered, knowing the work was done. My work is done. Let light guide you now, came the soft final whisper. Steps faded, but respect and gratitude lingered in every heart. The village breathed together, wiser, stronger, and ready to face the future with truth as their shield. A voice rose, steady and sure. A girl's purity is not her value. Heads nodded in agreement. Women speaking together. Her heart is her strength. Questions flew like sparks. Why follow lies in the name of tradition? Young voices asked. A wise man answered with calm authority. Truth walks straighter than old customs. Whispers passed from mother to mother, eyes wide with understanding. Fear made Mama Juma blind, they said. A strong voice cut through the murmurs. Fear can break a whole family. Children's feet tapped, voices lifted. Lies run fast, they chanted, echoing through the gathering. An old woman raised her hand and spoke, but truth waits for the brave to speak. Words became lessons. Hearts began to understand. Respect builds a home, not control, came a firm declaration. And love stands strong when all voices are heard, another voice added, steady and unwavering. The leader lifted the staff, silence falling across all. The crowd leaned in, listening to wisdom carved from struggle and courage. The heart of a person is stronger than the stories told about them, came the final decree. Heavy with truth, carrying the weight of generations. Heads bowed, hearts lifted, and the village breathed together, carrying the lesson forward.